Hello, and welcome to Chair Yoga. In today's class, we're going to move the spine in all directions, nourishing the spine and bringing some movement and breath and energy into our spine. So join me for this practice today. So we're going to sit tall in our chairs, hands on our hips, and let's just turn our head from one side, center, to the other side. Keep the chin parallel to the earth and only turn as far as feels good to you. Already we're now getting into the neck, a very important part of our spine. Turning the neck side to side. Come back to center. Now tilt one ear towards the shoulder and lift the ear. And then tilt it back down. Let's go over to the other side. Tilt towards that shoulder and bring the ear back up. Tilt and bring it back up. Now bring your arms down at your side, pushing the arms downward, shoulders down your back. Tilt towards one shoulder. Notice if there's any difference in this tilt, and then bring the head back to center. Let's go to the other side. Push the arms down, shoulders down your back, and tilt in the other direction. Stretching through one side and then the other of the neck. Bring our head back to center and then just relax our hands on our thighs. Let's lift one foot and point and flex. Now, we don't often think of our feet as part of our spine, but when we stand, they're an important part about our posture, and how we stand and how we use our feet matters. Let's circle the big toe around and then reverse that. And then tap and lift, tap and lift. Now we're going to tap that foot out and stretch the inner leg line, and at the same time bring our shoulders over our hips. So not only are we taking the muscle out away from the core of the body, but we're lifting the other muscles up and away from the hips. And then bring it on back in. Let's try it on the other side. Let's first point and flex, and then circle the big toe, and reverse that. And tap and lift. And on this next lift, we're going to take it out to the side of the chair, and then once again come back to the spine and sit tall. Maybe even tuck the chin a little bit here and feel this muscle going out and over, and then the muscles of the spine lifting away from the hips. Check in with your breath. Make sure you're breathing nice and even. And then we'll step that foot back and in and lift the heels and lower and lift the toes. Lift the heels and lift the toes. And then place those feet firmly on the earth. Sitting tall, roll the shoulders down your back. Just feel how that might change your posture even just a little bit. Because a lot of things in yoga, a lot of change is subtle and it happens over time. Keeping the shoulders down your back, lift your chin and tuck and breathe. Find your center. Some people, the center is a little higher in their chest. Some, for us, it's in the belly or maybe even between the hips. Where's your center today? And breathe into that center. Close your eyes and feel the breath go in and out, deep into the body, nourishing the body. And then as you exhale, you just let go, let the toxins out, let the bad air out. Maybe any tension that you're carrying today, let that go too. And be in this moment as we work through our spine. One more breath here. And then we open the eyes, take the hands up overhead and reach out to one side and just really reach as long as you can and relax that down. Now reach with the other arm. Notice anything happening in the side body here. float those hands down. Now we're going to take the feet apart and we're just going to lean to one side. Just a little lean. Don't let this hip come up. Anchor it down and then lean over to the other side. Flexing the spine side to side. And at the same time, feel the weight shift in your hips. Rocking side to side, shifting our weight from hip bone to hip bone. And then come center and heel toe those feet into the middle. Feet are parallel. Let's take our hands back on the back of the chair. So I'm going to turn a little bit more sideways here so you could see that I'm reaching a hand back. Elbows can be slightly bent. And then I plant my feet into the earth and lift the chest up. Maybe even take my gaze upward towards maybe where the ceiling meets the wall. And then slide the hands down slowly and feel the shoulder blades squeeze the spine. The muscles of the upper back are drawing towards each other and getting nice and tight. Stay here, take another breath, and then slowly release that. And maybe do some cat-cows. So we round into cat and spread those muscles now away from the spine. And then we lift up and come back to neutral. Let's do cat again. Round, stretch those muscles out. And then lift up and come back to neutral. We're going to come back to camel. So we reach back. We lift up. Our feet stay on the floor. Our hips stay in the chair. And we lift the ribs. And we take our gaze upward. And maybe lower the hands down on the chair and squeeze through the upper back. Stay for another 2 or 3 breaths. And when you're ready, exhale and soften, let go of the chair, and come back to neutral. Wonderful. So now we're going to separate our feet a little bit out in front of us and holding on to the legs. We're just going to lean forward, keeping the back neutral. Pull the belly in, shoulders back, and lift the body up. So this isn't cat-cow because we're not rounding here. We're just leaning forward and lifting back up. Now, what muscles do you notice in your body working really hard here? One more, and we'll sit nice and tall. And we'll do that hip rock once again, side to side. And then bringing the feet parallel, we're going to take the hands over to one side and just turn the body a little bit, an easy twist. Let the head follow the spine. And then we'll take the hands over to the other side. And again, let the head follow the spine. So the head doesn't go any further than the front of your chest here. And the back to the other side. Moving slowly, mindfully, and noticing the twist in the torso. Now we can add to this by reaching up and taking the hands over to the other side, lengthening the spine when we come center, and then twisting the spine as we bring the arms down. Up and over to the other side, back to the other side, and then release and come back to center. How are you doing? Next, I'm going to stand and show you some things that you can do for your spine standing. If you choose to stay in the chair, you can skip ahead in the video. So I'm going to stand and bring my chair right out in front of me so that the chair is anchored. Sometimes it helps to push the chair up against the wall, but have the high part of the chair, the back of the chair, facing you. So we come to mountain in front of the back of our chair right here, nice and tall. Shoulders down your back and right over your hips. And then place your hands on the chair or hover them above the chair. And we're going to lift the heels and lower. Now, if this is uncomfortable, you can separate the feet a little and see if that gives you more balance. And now, see if you can bring one hand up. You can keep the other hand on the chair or hovering, and then bring that hand down, hover or touch, bring the other hand up, lifting the heels and the hand at the same time, making the body long from the toes to the crown of the head. Good. Now you can stay with that. I'm going to bring both heels up and both hands up and see if I can hold this for maybe 3 or 4 breaths. Using the core, drawing the muscles towards the spine, towards the middle of our bodies, and then lower the heels and lower the arms. How did you do? Were you able to balance on the balls of those feet? Great. So now let's come into down dog. So once again, we place the hands on the back of the chair and walk our hips back so that we can lower our chest right into the space. So maybe the back is now parallel to earth. And then bend the knees and straighten one leg and push that hip back, and then bend that knee and straighten the other one. And bend that. And just rock side to side here like we did in the chair, but now there's no pressure in the hip. We're just moving the hip. And then bring it to center. And maybe you can lift the tailbone and straighten both legs. And then bend those knees. Straighten again. And bend. Now let's straighten and hold. And then from here, push the crown of the head towards the chair, making as much length along the back of the body that you can. And then we'll release that, bend the knees round the back and walk in towards your chair and come to our mountain pose. And relax the shoulders down your back and feel the weight of your body in your feet. Next, I would like you to step one foot back and be on the ball of the foot if you can. Now, often we place the foot down. Today, I'd like to encourage you to lift the heel as much as possible. You can put a bend in that knee and really push into the ball of the foot. Getting a nice toe stretch here, yes? Chest is up, shoulders over hips. Maybe one hand comes up, maybe they both can be overhead. And as we lift the arms, lift the front of the body, but drop the shoulders downward. And breathe into all that space now in the front of the body. Exhale and bring the hands down. Now take the hand that the leg is in the front. Make sure the knee is over the ankle and sweep that hand out to the side. And just as we did in the chair, we're going to twist in the ribs and let the shoulder and hand go along with the torso. All the way back, stretch, stretch, stretch. And then bring it back. Now we're going to do it again, but I'm going to hover this other hand. So here we go. We're going to take the hand out. We're going to twist and then hover this other hand. See how that feels. If you have good balance, you can press that front hand forward and look out over the hand. Breathe in. Feel the core working here, drawing the muscles towards the middle of the body. And then exhale, bring the hand back down and untwist. Step the back foot forward and stand in mountain for a moment or two. And let the body reset. We'll do it on the other side. So now we take the other leg back. And again, we want a toe stretch. So if you can, be on the ball of the foot, lifting the heel. So don't let the heel, don't press into the heel here. Lift the heel, lift the leg, lift the whole body up. Bend into that front knee so that the knee is over the ankle. And glance down, make sure you can see your toes. And maybe one hand comes up. Maybe the other one hovers. Maybe it too can come up into our lunge. If both hands are up, we can lift the ribs a little bit and get a lot of space in the front of the body. And then exhale the hands down. We're going to take that twist again. So we take whatever knee's in front, that's the arm that's going to go back. And then when it's even with the shoulder, we just turn the ribs to get that extra twist going. And then bring it back for a moment. And now we're going to lift the other hand or stretch the other hand. So take that hand back again for the twist. Keep it even with the shoulder. Push through the ball of the back foot. Maybe hover this front hand or maybe push it forward. The chair is there for you, just like I just used the chair here. And maybe look out over the front hand. And then to bring the hand to the chair, head forward, hand forward, step the back foot back, mountain pose. How did you do? Great, great. Let's loosen it up a little bit. We're going to thread the needle. So both hands on the chair, we walk it back into that down dog. This time we keep the knees bent. We take one arm, we lift it as we inhale, turning the ribs again. Exhale, cross over the body and really try to reach through that space. And then inhale and lift. One more. When you cross over the body, hold the hand there, but look forward, bring the hand to the chair, and walk it in standing tall. And pause and just breathe. Find your breath, even it out, and we'll come to the other side. So we walk it back into that down dog, keep the knees bent, and then we take the other hand out, we lift, and we cross over the body, and we lift again. Next time that arm crosses over, hold, look forward, bring the hand to the chair, walk in and stand tall. Good. Now let's loosen it up. Separate the feet and let's twist. Twists are great for the spine. And this twist especially, nice and easy, lifting the heel as we turn away from it. You can do this every day. This feels good and it's good for you. So it's a nice morning twist that you could do every day. When you're ready to come to stillness, come center, step the feet in, mountain pose. Let's bring the chair back in and have a seat. And let's do a few cat-cows here. So start with your hands back by your hips, slide them towards your knees. Let the shoulders on your back spread, pull the belly in, tuck your chin. And then roll up and bring the hands back. And as you bring the hands and elbows towards the body, the shoulders come down your back. Exhale here. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale. Cat. Inhale, cow in the chair. Stay here, hands down at your side. Good. So now I'm going to take one foot to the side of the chair and the other leg just dangles right here in front of the chair. And we can stretch it back and get a little hip flexor stretch also. But we're primarily going to work on the upper body, the upper part muscles around the spine. So we take that outside arm, whatever leg's back, that arm, reaches forward. We can support ourselves on the leg that's on the side of the chair. And then as you bring it back, the elbow's going to go past your waist. How far past is up to you. Now I'm going to take mine pretty far past and just look over my shoulder. And then reach forward again and stretch it out. Focusing on the shoulders and squeezing the muscles around the spine. Last one right here. Come center, release that hand down. I'm going to go to the other side. Just adjusting my chair here. And let this leg just dangle right there. Both, the front foot especially, has to be anchored. Tuck that elbow in and then reach. And as you bring it back, brush the ribs, look over your shoulder. And maybe at first you move a little, but you add to it. As you do this a few times, you start to really get that twist going, especially in the upper back, working into the shoulders here. Good. One more. And then releasing that arm down, bring the back foot in, pivot to the front of your chair. So now I'm going to do a cross-legged position. So you can cross at the ankles or you can cross at the knees. You choose. I'm going to stay here, one foot on the floor. And I'm going to take the opposite arm. So this is my right knee. I'm going to take my left arm across the body and turn to the right. And then I'm going to send that right arm back and start that twist again. This twist we're going to hold, and then we're going to tweak it a little. So how are we going to tweak it? We use the breath. So as we breathe in, we lift through the ribs as if the ribs fill and expand upward like a balloon. And then as we exhale, we twist a little deeper. And it's subtle, it's small. So you inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Not moving much, but I am making the effort in the ribs. Maybe take our eyes to see that back thumb. On the exhale, first the head, release the arm and the shoulders, untwist, and release the legs. Let's go to the other side. Remember, you can cross at the ankles or cross at the knee. Take the opposite hand to the outside of the leg, sit tall, and then start to send this other arm back. And go slow and move with your breath. So you inhale, lengthen, exhale, and twist. Inhale and lengthen, exhale and twist. Now the back of the chair might get in your way and you can adjust for that. So I might decide to go sideways in my chair a little bit so that I have the room for the arm. And then maybe after a few breaths, we can look at our thumb. See if you can do that and turn in the neck. Hold here and use the breath. Inhale a little longer, exhale, twist a little more. Maybe even only in our mind's eye, but that's okay, because that's important too. If we visualize it, we can do it. Exhale, we release the head, the arm and shoulder, and then release the body forward again. So let's separate those feet and do our hip rock side to side. Just kind of let the body come back to neutral, and then we'll take that into a circle. And let's go in the other direction. And then come to center, and we'll step one foot out to the side, place our hand there or our forearm, and we're going to take another lateral stretch in the ribs. So sit tall, shoulders right over the hips, and then we lean towards that leg. We don't have to use our arm here. If you use your arm, it just adds to the stretch. And just find your stretch in the side body as you bend over to the side, stretching laterally with that spine. Breathe into it. Keep the head active, not dropping down into our chest, but nice and active, reaching even with the crown of the head. And then bring that arm down and lift the chest up. Step that leg in. Let's go to the other side. Taking our side angle pose here, stretching into the side body, leaning the spine laterally to the side. And release back to center, release that down, step that foot back and in. Take the hands to one side, inhale them up, and then we just turn gently here and bring them down on the other side. Not a big twist at all, just a nice release in the chair. Side to side, maybe take the gaze over to the side. How do you feel today? How does your spine feel? Do you feel more energized because you've moved through the core of the body, stimulated those muscles that support your spine? Good, and let's bring everything back to center. Sit up tall in your chair, hands on your lap, and come back to that breath. And staying here for a moment, glance down or close your eyes and feel the breath rise from the tailbone up, touching each vertebra all the way to the base of the skull, and then float back down the spine. And feel that movement of breath through the muscles all along your spine. Bring the hands together. Rub the palms. Create some warmth and then hover that over your eyes. Just let it absorb in. And then as you exhale, open the eyes and bring the hands in front of your heart and bow to your body for its fabulous work today. Thank you so much for joining me for chair yoga today as we nourished the spine. Namaste.